Hi, my name is Stephen McGee and I am the author of Solar Photovoltaic Operation and Maintenance for Residential, Commercial and Utility Systems. And today we're here to look into the anatomy of solar modules. And solar modules are very simple, but the thing I've noticed is a lot of people don't really understand how the solar module is constructed. So this is an educational video to address that, and hopefully by the end of this video you should understand solar modules much better. And the individual building block of a solar module is the solar cell, and this is a single monocrystalline solar cell, and you can see that the whole module is actually made up of a lot of these solar cells. Each one of these solar cells gives out about half a volt, and we increase the voltage by connecting them together in series throughout the module, and this raises the module voltage. And these are 12 volt rated battery charging solar modules, and the voltage that comes out of these on the load is about 18 volts, and that higher voltage is needed to push current through the battery system. The thing you'll notice is up here we have these very large bus bars, and this is where the connections go out to what's on the back. That is known as the junction box. And we're going to talk about the connections in the junction box a little bit later. But the thing to get across from these connections is we actually have two circuits, and one of these bars will be positive and one will be negative. And it's the same over here. So we have one positive, one negative, and they go out to the junction box where they're connected in series to connect the two internal strings that we have in this module into one very large string. And that raises the voltage up to the 18 volts that this module is rated for. If we have a look down here, we can see how the internal string is connected together. So this is the first string, and this is connecting the positive and negative from each cell together for that string, and this is the second string. And by looking at the bottom of the solar module and looking at how many of these bus bars it has, you can actually tell how many internal strings of solar cells it has. And in this case we have two. So on the back of the module we have the junction box, and if you look at this junction box you'll see that we've got some very interesting stuff going on. So these are the connections that we were looking at on the front earlier. So this is one string and this is the other string, and across those strings you'll see these guys. These are diodes. They're called the bypass diodes, and they're used for shading. If you get any shading on the solar module, it'll kill off one of the strings or both strings, and these bypass diodes allow the current from other modules that may be connected to this one to completely bypass the module, because this module, if it's shaded, will not be producing current nor voltage. And you just simply make your connections in here to the positive and negative, and this junction box actually combines the two internal strings into one big string. And we can see the rating of this string by looking at the label, and we can see it's a 75 watt module rated at 600 volts, and it gives out 4.8 amps under short circuit currents and 4.4 in normal operation. And its open circuit voltage is 21.7, and its rated voltage in operation is 17. And an important label value is the size of fuse that you're supposed to use. And you shouldn't use a fuse that's smaller than this value, and nor should you use a fuse that is larger. And when you're connecting your modules in series, you should not exceed 600 volt rating when adjusted for temperature corrections. It's very important to pay attention to this labeled value. So there we have it. That's our anatomy of a solar module. Very simple devices made up of single solar cells that are connected in series to increase the voltage, and in the junction box we have bypass diodes to allow for shading. That's all there is to a solar module. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I wish you the very best of health. Thank you.